Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salam.
Okay.
All right, let's start off with a bit of good news, actually, very good news concerning Nigeria's Aruna Quadri. That's because he's made it to the final of the ITF Africa Top 16 Cup in Tunisia. He took on his eternal rival, Omar Asa, and it was Quadri that advanced into the next round.
Absolutely advanced into the next round.
Which is the final, by the way.
Absolutely. All right. Also on the program, we'll talk about the UEFA Champions League. It was all about Bayern Munich on the night. Frank Lampard was scared of Lewandowski and some other superstars.
Yep.
And of course, they all step up on the night, outdueling Chelsea 3-0. And everyone is saying London Bridge is falling again.
Yeah, London Bridge, Stamford Bridge crashed and crumbled last night. Bayern outclassing, outplaying, outmaneuvering, outmuscling Chelsea on the night. 3-0. Safe to say that tie is done and dusted. But you never know, football, anything can happen. But it's very, very unlikely to see Chelsea come back from that deficit. Also on the show this time in the NBA, that guy on your screen, LeBron James, once again was the star of the show for the Lakers in their matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans. It was LeBron James taking on Zion Williamson. At the end of 4 quarters, LeBron James prevailed, 40 big points on the night, and that was enough to help LA prevail over New Orleans.
Absolutely. And of course, the top pick in the 2019 NBA draft, Zion Williamson, was in there, but he poured in just 29 points. Just is not 29. Okay, let's take a look at all the results on the night. And of course, we're starting with the game between the Pelicans and, of course, the Lakers, which ended 109 and 118. For the Lakers, it was not just only LeBron that had some big numbers on the night. Anthony Davis had to come in to support him.
Absolutely. AD, 21 points and 14 rebounds on the night.
Huge.
And you remember there's a bit of history between these two sides because the Lakers traded all those young pieces
and gave it to New Orleans.
Right, so AD taking on his former side. AD is the top scorer, top rebounder for that franchise, and now taking on his former team. And usually when that happens, the guys that get traded have a lot to prove. They're coming into this game trying to show that you shouldn't have traded us and we're good players. I'm talking about the likes of Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, who had 34 points on the night. Lonzo Ball, wasn't too great scoring. And the other lads as well, Josh Hart, you can go on. They all played this particular match, and they ended up being very, very competitive. Like we expected, because all those factors I just mentioned. But at the end of the day, they have LeBron James, who's playing like an alien, who's in season 17.
14, 40
season
points
17,
is season.
Cecilia. Season 17.
And he's still pouring in 40 points in a game.
Are you kidding me? Are you joking? That's ridiculous. Like, I don't think I've seen anything like this type of sustained greatness. In your 17th season in the NBA, and you're still playing out.
He's not slowing down at all.
Not slowing down. 35.
He needs something. He wants to win something with the Lakers. That's what he's aiming at, and that's why they are the best team in the Western Conference right now.
No doubt whatsoever. So, good win there for LA. They've now won 6 in a row, and it's very hard to see any other team coming close in the West, and they might just hold on to the best record in the Western Conference. There were other matches that were played in the NBA. We're just going to give you the results quickly. The Bucks, Milwaukee, of course, they took on the Toronto Raptors, defending champions, but was Milwaukee prevailing 108-97. That was a fantastic matchup as well too.
50 games they've won so far.
They're incredible.
50 and they've lost just 8.
They're incredible. I see how you were trying to tell me the other time that they should slow down.
Come on, you really get to play on sports already.
You need to carry on that momentum.
Creating a record.
Carry the momentum into the postseason, and I totally like the approach of the Milwaukee Bucks. There's no point slowing down. Keep playing, keep beating these teams, and you never know where it's going to land you come the playoffs. So good win for Milwaukee over the Toronto Raptors. Elsewhere, the Celtics also defeated the Blazers.
Portland Blazers.
118-106. That's how it ended in favor of the Celtics. Celtics as well too have been very impressed with what they've done so far this season. Jason Tatum, your guy.
36 points on the night. 8 of 12 from 3-point range.
When you were away,
wonderful.
Cecilia, I was telling Yemi that The Celtics are actually a better side without Kyrie Irving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's looking like it right now.
I mean, it is. That's exactly what it is. Kyrie is a great player. There's no doubt about it. But this team, they play a lot better without Kyrie. And so, shout out to all those young stars: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You know, all those Gordon Hayward, all those guys doing great things for Boston. And I won't be surprised if they end up, you know, in the top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference come the playoffs. The Pistons lost against the Denver Nuggets. That's not a surprise at all. The Pistons recently lost Andre Drummond in a trade. So I'm not too sure what they have left in that side right now. Taking on the Denver side, who are flying high, you know, in the Western Conference. Elsewhere, the Hornets lost 80-119 against the Pacers. That's quite a beat down.
Proper beat down.
And the Kings, once again, defeating the Golden State Warriors 112-94. The Warriors, of course, it's well documented all the problems they've had. It's been a terrible season.
And Steve Curry is actually hoping that Steph Curry will be back this Sunday.
It's coming back, but I don't see much changes. Though.
That's
like,
it,
so
because they've gone so deep. I mean,
exactly.
it's so deep. It's going to be hard for them to step up
It'll be
again.
good. It'll be good to see him back. There's no doubt about it, but it's not going to make much of an effect. And they're just going to like play out the season and just focus on what's going to happen next time out, where they hope to have Klay Thompson back and, you know, the original Big 3
Splash
back
Brothers.
together. Yeah, plus Draymond Green who has struggled.
Without those two guys.
Yeah, it's not much you could do. So
that's it.
No blame for him at all.
That's the way it is.
All right, so that's it for the NBA, National Basketball Association. All the games are played early this morning and stroke last night. Let's talk about table tennis and talk about Aaron Quadri. Yesterday we previewed the semi-final matchups, the quarter-final matchups actually, of the ITTF Africa Top 16 Cup. Our guy, Olajide Omotayo, was going to take on Umar Asa, and we thought it was going to be very, very difficult. It turned out to be just that because Olajide was well beaten by Umar Asa. So we thought, okay, fantastic, you've done your job now, but in the next round, you're going to take on Nigeria's the best player on the continent, Nigeria's Aaron Quadri. And we're all expecting Quadri to avenge that loss.
Yeah.
And it wasn't looking too like good, though. Because the first 2 sets, or the first 2 games, they lost it. We're wondering, okay, this is a big hole now for you to climb out of, especially against a player of the caliber of Omar Asa. But what did Quadri do? Dug really deep.
Yeah.
You know, won the 2 sets, and it was 2 apiece. Then after a while, Omar Asa won another one. It was 3-2. Then Quadri had to go and dig deep again, and he's done just that. And we had to go to a decider. And in the deciding set, Aaron Quadri was able to, you know, to get the job done, to advance into the championship decider of the ITTF Africa Cup Top 16, which is, how do I even put it now? I mean, Omar Asa has been very dominant in this competition for the last few years. Defending champion, of course, no longer now, because he's out there. So for Quadri to have beaten him, it is fantastic.
Absolutely. It simply means that defending champion, it simply means we're going to have a new champion in the men's singles. For the women, I mean, we still have
Dina is still there.
She's still there. And of course, you also have, let's expect out for Eden Moffiong. I mean, she's in the final. So it was a remarkable one for her also, you know, being able to get through to this point. The good thing is we're having 2 Nigerians in the finals right now. So we'll see, we're going to be having 2 Nigerian champions. That
will be very interesting. Eden got to the...
Eden won bronze. The World Cup,
Eden won bronze last time out. So regardless of the outcome of today's match,
she's going a step further.
She's going to have done better than last time out. So we'll see how it pans out. Of course, when we come back on the show tomorrow, we'll be giving you the results, and we'll be hoping we have 2 champions in the men's and the women's singles. Time to go for a break now. When we'll come back, we'll be doing a comprehensive review of the UEFA Champions League matches that were played last night. Stay with us. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Before we go to the UEFA Champions League and tell you how Chelsea were outclassed by Bayern, and now Napoli and Barcelona played out a 1-1 draw. Let's come back home and talk about the Edo State National Sports Festival. We're still counting down. We're still building up to that competition. Nigeria's own mini Olympics.
Yeah.
And,
or rather, Nigeria's Olympics. Yeah,
right.
Nigeria's Olympics. That's
yeah,
not really
okay,
mean. That's
fair.
the biggest festival we have in Nigeria. There's nothing bigger than that because you have all sports, all the states, everyone participating, the top athletes, especially those who feel they can actually come in. The last time we saw elite athletes actually coming to compete, the likes of
Cecilia,
I mean, all of them coming.
You're
but
right.
then let's talk about
Nigeria's
this one,
Olympics,
yeah.
Edo
Nigeria's
2020
Olympics.
is just around the corner, and you can see, you know, of course, we're going to be having cycling in the competition. You can see the coaches that will be transporting the athletes from their you know, accommodation to the venues. And I think it's looking like Edo State is ready. Cecilia, I don't know the last time you went to that part of the country, but from the pictures that we are seeing, it looks like they're all, you know, set to host the competition.
Absolutely. I love the fact that they're actually creating awareness. Those that don't even know that this is coming up, they know that, okay, the whole city is actually busy.
Right.
Why is it busy? Simply because the countdown has started. They started the countdown to the tournament, and on the streets of Benin City and all that, across some other cities, they're actually creating this awareness to tell people that, look, we are committed to host. Yes, something is coming.
Yeah.
We're created to hosting the very best, and that's why you're having all these cyclists, these skaters, all of them on the streets of Benin City, you know, creating that awareness, just telling people, look, we're ready to host it, and we're going to host one of the best ever that other states will will look at, and they always want to build on it. The countdown that they started, you know, some time ago and all that. Yeah. So
and you see the governor and
the deputy governor.
The deputy,
I mean, they're actually leading.
Yeah,
there's so much, and I love the fact that they're not just using only those state funds and all, private organizations and all that. So, you know, coming to really put in their money and also help in the organization of the National Sports Festival. Let's hear from Philip Shaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, talking about their commitment to hosting one of the best National Sports Festival ever.
So we're in a hurry to get to start the National Sports Festival come 22nd of March to not only showcase but to also host a tournament that we are seeing as one of that is going to be one of the best tournaments that is hosted by a state, single-handedly hosted by a state. So beyond Samuel Ogumina Stadium, we are building 20 mini stadiums across the 18 local government in the state with 3 medium-sized stadiums. And the idea is that we want to catch them young at the school, catch them young at the local, and that is why if you check the last Edo State Sports Festival, which is the third, and 19 years ago, that was when the second edition was held, you discover that we have some upset. Some of our national athletes were dethroned during that tournament. So you will be seeing new athletes at the 20th National Sports Festival. So we decided that sport is returning home. Edo is the home of sport, is the traditional home of sport. And we want Nigeria to stop using calculators to calculate when one country lose, one country draw, and will qualify. It's because Edo have been on recess. Now that Edo is back, I can tell you, when you are watching Super Eagles or any national team, you don't need a calculator to know whether I will get to final, because we are back.
I love his level of confidence because he's not just talking about them hosting and also producing some of those best athletes and best players to be able to compete at you know, the national teams and all that.
Yeah, and they just had their own sports festival for Edo State, and we saw like quite you know, very good talents on display. We're very interested to see how many of those talents make the Team Edo for the National Sports Festival. It's going to be very, very competitive because of Delta.
Absolutely. What happened the last time?
And Team Rivers as well, too. And all those sides, I'm not too sure about Lagos for now.
Yeah.
In terms of how competitive
Lagos tried to build a team. They tried to be building a team, to develop talent and all. They don't go as far as, you know, trying to poach athletes from other states. They're happy with what they have. Like some other states, like some states usually poach athletes.
But it doesn't mean
Delta didn't. They had, I mean, they have the talent, the pool of talent. They always have that.
They've always had it.
They've always had that.
So it would take some some doing from all these other states.
Especially if another promise is coming up again. If the governor is going to say, okay, win and get 1 million. Okay, I need to get my hands on the money. But if it's not coming, it simply means other states will have to step up to see if they can wrestle it from Delta States.
It'll be difficult, though.
To be hard,
very,
right?
Very difficult. Perhaps at those states. Anyways, let's move on from one competition to the other.
Another. Yeah. Okay, the 2022 FIFA World Cup. I mean, it was 1,000 days. So now it's 999 days to the FIFA World Cup 2020, and of course, you know, several goes qualify and all that. All teams are trying to qualify, but then the organizers are saying that everything is actually on track.
999 days until the Qatar 2022 World Cup. We can't wait for that one to come. Of course, we're hoping, we believe in Nigeria will be a part of that competition. Because it's not a gimme, Cecilia. Don't look at me that way.
No, nothing. I'm just saying.
I mean, you've seen the draw, right?
I've seen the draw, yeah. It's something we can easily get out from that. Then play the next one. That is the next one I'll be afraid of. But the first one, I mean, if we don't get out of that,
there you go.
We have no business playing football. I mean, but
so
when I know that
the
first one is okay, but it's the second one, that's what we're looking at. That might just be difficult for us. I think we've got the players, got everyone that can actually. I mean, we have the players that can do that. Yeah. And if there's continuity and all that.
And of course, the management of the side as well, so the administrators, they don't bungle it and, you know, give the team all the necessary support that they need. Then
like what they did to the Super Falcons when they were praying for the Olympics.
Exactly. I mean, if we don't know of that kind of situation.
We don't want that.
That would be a
disaster. Yeah. You know, you press the button and you destroy yourself, and that's it.
Self-destruct.
Okay, let's leave that quickly. Just take this out of the way. Reschedule game for today in Latvia. At Nasarawa United, and of course you have a Rangers International will be in action today in Latvia, 4 p.m. It's a rescheduled game, and Rangers needs to catch up to be able to climb out of the kind of zone they're in. When you're looking at the league, the league table, usually you see Rangers between the first and the fifth. Right now they're in the second part of it, simply because they have about 3 or 4 games to catch up with the other team. This game will be played today in the Nigeria Professional Football League 2019-2020 season.
So, I mean, Nasarawa, Latvia is a tough place to play. So it'll be very interesting to see how Rangers are.
Nasarawa position is not looking pretty.
Exactly, so they need the points.
Absolutely. And Rangers also need the points.
So it even makes it more difficult. Rangers are 15th on the log. Nasarawa 19th on the log, so they'll be doing everything.
Absolutely.
You know, it takes to get all maximum points, so they can, you know, try and climb out of the
Rangers
relegation.
have a way of going away from home to get at least a point.
They've been very good recently.
Good on the road,
so it'll be a very interesting match. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll be giving you the results of that game. All right, so that's it for the NPFL.
And talk about another countdown, the one that's actually upon us right now, 148 days to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Yes, 148 days. And of course, Team Nigeria, you know, some are trying to qualify. Those that have qualified, you know, are preparing and trying to go for more competitions to be ready. Some have gotten sponsors, signed them up for more funds and all that. But then the sports minister, Sunday Diary, has been talking about Nigeria's readiness for this, saying, look, they're doing everything possible to ensure that we're not just going there to compete, but then...
You know what, Cecilia?
Okay.
And let's listen to the minister.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we can share our thoughts
on him.
On the things he's out to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to him right now.
My response often is that we're ready. Don't forget, the preparation for the next Olympic starts when one ends. And I keep saying it. The preparation at the level of the athlete has been ongoing. They are in colleges overseas. They go to tournaments, they go to championships. The ones that are home-based also go to continental and national championships on a continuous basis over the years. So we have to be careful not to fall into the trap that we just have 4 months to prepare our athletes. No, it's been ongoing for years. What we bring to bear as a government and as a ministry is to make sure that we'll provide them with the support and the opportunities they need as we get closer in terms of competition, because that is really critical, in terms of coaches, in terms of the therapists and other needs that they have, but also to support them to go to the necessary qualifiers, because it's not automatic. They have to get the requisite points that they need They need to get the requisite exposures. There's a sense in setting up those qualifiers. They need to go and compete with their likes so that it sharpens them and also shows areas in which they need to improve. And I think as a ministry, we started early this time. Not as early as we would have wanted to, but in the last 5 months, we've been able to just energize the entire process, both at the level of getting Nigerians to buy into the Olympic spirit, bringing private money into it, but also scaling up the importance of our athletes. It's all about the athletes. We often forget. It's not about how we prepare as a country, the contingent that will go, the kits that we wear. It's about the athletes, their welfare, and how you support them to prepare. And you see, the question of money comes in. They pay their coaches, they pay therapists, they pay doctors, they have to buy flight tickets. So we built a whole system that now places the athlete at the center and the core of our preparation for the Olympics.
Okay, I love the fact that he says they've been preparing, for a long time and all that. It's not just the 4 months preparations that everyone has been talking about, because they mentioned the fact that some of these athletes have been training. I mean, most of them are training on their own. Yeah. But now, the minister came in and said, okay, now let's just see if we can have something, quickly put something together, create the Adopt Talent, program that they created. Where we have some companies, organizations actually adopted some of these athletes to actually help them prepare more. But the thing is, talking about colleges, some of these athletes preparing colleges and all that. Special thanks to NCAA.
Thankfully,
helping some of these athletes and all that, getting ready and everything. But the thing is, if these athletes know what they've been doing, fine, it's enough. But they also need to start camp early. That's another thing. Maybe put them together, be in one place, and from there they can be going out to compete among the very best in the world.
Exactly. So, because you have to be fair to the Honorable Minister who's just coming. It's not been there all along. It's coming. It's trying to put a few things in place, especially when it comes to the welfare of the athletes, especially when it comes to the athletes that are based here in Nigeria that don't have the NCAA platform,
the track and field athletes.
Exactly. So credit to him on that one. You mentioned the Adopting Athletes initiative as well too. We already seen Odwanya Adekoye while you were away getting a check to help, to aid. No, it's not the biggest check in the world, but it's still something.
It's part of it.
We're hoping all these other fantastic and amazing athletes will get their monies as well to help them prepare for the Olympics. And like the minister rightly said, preparations for the Olympics start as soon as the
one ends.
So he knows that already, but he wasn't there for the last Olympics, so he's just trying to do his best, and within the available, the short time available to put things in place, and I will see how it pans out, and I'm not going into that competition too expectant, but indeed we have some very good athletes who you can call medal hopefuls. It's a Brume, Toby Amushon, was very close to winning a medal at the World Champs. Perhaps Divine as well, too. Not seen a lot of Divine since his exploits.
But in that particular, the categories actually taking part in, it depends your event also. You have to look at the event that some athletes are taking part and look at their competitors. And you ask, like, okay, now,
of course.
Do I? Okay.
Toby's world class.
Toby's world class.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen her compete. Ese Brumen,
Ese world class.
Why I can't put a Divine Oduru in that same club because he just turned professional some few times ago, and he hasn't been close to getting a medal yet. So we can just leave him out at this particular Olympics. Maybe subsequent ones. The next one, we can be looking at how he can get a medal. Another one is Blessing is still there. I mean, you don't even know when she's going to spring up that surprise and everything. So she's always there. But I love the fact that this time around, pressure is not on her. No, she's just taking her time, enjoying herself. We are actually shifting pressure now to other athletes to step up and compete. That's what it is for the Olympics. Hopefully, again, we can be able to get something out of this
Last time out in Brazil, just the one golden bronze.
And it was football. And right now, there is
no
football.
All right.
But we have basketball. I love the fact that what the Basketball Federation has been doing and all that, trying to get everyone together. We have basketball, so we can still be hopeful.
Really?
As long as the group we're in, we don't have some very tough countries in that
So
group.
you're waiting for the draw, first of all.
The draw will determine if we're going to, how far we'll go.
And before we leave the Olympics as well, while you were away as well, I think you were still around. The the minister was able to secure pre-games camp for Team Nigeria eventually. So, because he mentioned how they need to camp early and stuff, and they've been able to secure that camp when he met with the Japanese ambassador in Abuja. So that's a good one.
The camp has been secured. When are they going for it? That's why I said
that's
early.
That's the next level now. Yeah, of course it has to be early enough. You know, for them to, to acclimatize and intensify preparations.
And hopefully by then the coronavirus is just in the kind of raving havoc right now everywhere will be resolved. I mean,
totally
find a cure and contain and all that is not spreading again. The fear is even more spreading than the virus.
Understandably, itself. I mean, the fatalities keep rising.
It's not looking good at all.
All right,
let's leave the Olympics and talk about the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea, they were in London and London falling again. What happened to Arsenal the last time was also in the hands of Bayern.
3-0.
And you're asking yourself, Bayern, what's it with the English side? Come on, guys. This team actually struggled to beat Paderborn
over the weekend.
And they came here to kind of just...
Easy. Blew Tottenham out of the water. 7-2. Now they've come to London again and absolutely destroyed Chelsea. First half ended goalless, which was a bit of a surprise because Bayern totally dominated. Caballero made a couple of very good saves that kept them in the game. But in second half, Bayern upped the ante and
they opened the floodgates.
Serge Gnabry, what a player. Serge Gnabry again coming to hunt English, London clubs now. Perhaps he's doing this for the Arsenal, right?
Yes.
Arsenal rivals in London. I'm going to show you guys. And that's exactly what it is. So 3-0 ended in favor of Bayern. The second match ended 1-1 between Napoli and Barcelona. All right.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at the papers, right? We started with Sporting Sun this morning. Sporting Sun, okay, you know what to expect, right, when you see headlines like this. What is it? Bayern tears Chelsea apart. That's what is happening in Barcelona. What all? I mean, everyone's looking for an appropriate headline to describe what happened last night in London. Joseph Guardiola unleashes a full squad on Real Madrid, yes, because he's got a full squad and there's no one left out in this one. Galatasaray's boss heaps praises on Onyekuru since his return to his home.
Yeah,
is what they call it.
It's been decent.
Yes, and the Liga hails Oshola. Why won't you hail her? 20 league goals so far. I mean, every time she plays, she's scoring goals. Yes. I mean, that's why she's undisputed king, a queen of Africa. Now you have FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. The qualifier between Guinea and Nigeria will now hold March 7th. Not this weekend earlier because there's parliamentary elections going on, in Guinea. That's why the match was postponed.
All right, Complete Sports ahead of the double header against Sierra Leone AFCON qualifier. General is facing a selection headache. That's because Iheanacho Onyekuru, the return to form, will be fit again. And Cyril Dessers is red hot. In the Netherlands, Moses Simon is shining for Nantes as well. These are all good. This is a good headache for any manager to have when you have all these options to choose from. Of course, there's also Sporting Life as well.
But we need to go. Thank you.
Gotta go.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.
I am Tahir Salam. Bye for now.